Hello sewing friends, Deb here, Slap Happy Sewing with another episode of Friday Sews. This has not been the most productive week. I have been kind of struggling along a bit this week with feeling tired and so forth. But what I did manage to do was fix up a few things. So I'll just, actually if I squeeze over here, I'll put it there. That t-shirt that last week I said was very long, I decided I wouldn't throw it away, even though I actually don't like the fabric very much, because slidey fabrics I find very useful under jumpers. And as you know, we're in New Zealand here and I am moving my way in towards winter. In fact, I've got one on now. See, underneath this, I have got like one of those very, very slinky, can you see it? T-shirts. I like them a lot because when you go to take your jumper off, you don't necessarily take off your t-shirt at the same time, which is very handy. Oh, by the way, the jumper that I'm wearing, I think I made it last year, and it is the Cashmerette Pembroke. If I can find the video that I made about this, I'll pop it down below. Yeah, I was quite proud of this. I bought this obviously in a charity shop, and I didn't have enough fabric, but I thought, well, if I turn the sleeves around, I will have enough fabric. So I've actually made sleeves in the wrong direction, but strangely enough, they almost even match up, don't they? I was quite proud of that. I have been doing some mending jobs. So there was the everyday tee. I'll show you this purple t-shirt that I've done as well. Now, I bought that one in a charity shop and I really liked the style of it. I love that frill at the front. It actually looks quite good with my big bust. But the usual problem with t-shirts, I don't know what size it was because I took the thing out, probably quite a big size. And I like the fact it's a big size, but the usual thing was it's got slight gathering on the shoulders and it was falling off my shoulders, so it was about there. Now, one thing I find that I can often do, I am literally like a size bigger in the front than I am in the back because of my bust. So often what I can do is if I can get the back neck and take it in somehow, it will usually work. And thus it has with this. And I will show you a picture of me there. So what I've done here is I took this back, it doesn't look very nice that side. I took that back binding off, pulled it up tighter. So I took about an inch off the back. It's probably about half or 3/4 because it's all got a bit of stretch, but I really love it now. So that was good. So that was a little charity shop fix. Yes, and another thing I did this week, well, I made up this Metra Blazer, which admittedly is out of it's out of some cheap old fabric that I got in a charity shop again, but well, I'm going to come completely clean now. This has been a total disaster. So can you see the problem? We have got, that is the lining. That is the lining for the front. But we have got the wrong side with the right side. Anyway, so what I did was basically I completely misunderstood the instructions. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And I've basically sewed this collar on 3 times and with everything going in the wrong direction. And each time I've sewed it with that lightning stitch, which is so hard to unpick. So basically, I'm not sure I can unpick it anymore. I think I might have to give up on it. In fact, when I realised what a mess I'd made of it, I threw it in the bin. I've just pulled it out of the bin because I thought to myself, hang on a minute, if it's a muslin it will at least tell me if it's long enough. So let me see now, is it long enough? No, it probably isn't long enough. It needs to be lengthened a little bit. Anyway, it remains to be seen whether I ever go back and fix that again. Moral of this story is don't sew when you're tired, and watch the video if there's a video, because the collar's done in a kind of burrito fashion, and I think that was the problem. I should have made an effort to find and watch the video before I started, but oh well, we live and learn. Yes, I also wanted to talk to you about this floor cube that I'm making. It's like a big rectangle, and I'll put it in there. So while we're on the subject of bizarre projects, I thought you might like to see this one. Now this has this has got all my fabric scraps in it, and I've been filling it, I think maybe even for a year. It takes an awful lot of fabric scraps to fill a great big thing like this. Now I looked for the picture originally. There was a picture in a magazine and I really liked it, and it was a simple, basically, if I can just roll this over. So what it was, it was like, I wonder if you can see that properly. Let's move it back a bit. It was like a kind of an ottoman, a very, very simple one, and it had linen, and then there was another one on the top. And I thought, what a simple idea, because you could sit on the two on top, you could, you know, use them one each. And I kind of copied the idea, but as I say, I can't find the picture of the magazine now where I first saw it. So I thought, well, I need to make a sort of an undercover to hold the fabric, because I hate having anything that's not washable, and B, I also think that the fabric needs sort of a little more help in being held together. But as I said, it's taking me so long to fill even just this one. I might just about get this one filled. I might get this one filled in the next month maybe, and then I can sew it up, and then I can make a cover for it. Second problem though, I just weighed it. In fact, it weighs 10 kilograms. So when it's full, it's going to weigh maybe 12, 13 kilograms. So quite a hefty thing. And that makes me think, oh, I wonder if it's going to be that movable. Anyway, I'll let you know how I get on with this idea. You know how cheap I am, and how most of my patterns even are with sort of $1, $5 things. Well, I actually splurged and bought the chalk and notch fringe dress. And the reason I splurged and bought the pattern for that, I hope you can see it, is because I have had a few dresses like that in my past. In fact, I showed a black one last year. If I can find it, I'll put it down below. And it was just a ready-to-wear one, but I wore and wore and wore it. So it's obviously a style that I have found very wearable. So I thought, you know what? The pattern, I think the pattern was a bit reduced, maybe 20%. But it was a lot of money for me. Now, I was looking in my stash for fabricos, but here, I know this is dead boring, but the reality of it is I actually like wearing plain clothes. This is brown, and it's a kind of a drapey crepey. I'm a poet and I don't know it. Yeah, I think that would make, don't forget we're coming into winter now, so I thought if I made one in the bigger size, because I'm kind of between two sizes, so I thought I'll make one bigger so I can wear it over a jumper, and I'll make it plain, and I think I'll make the one with the buttons up the front. Yeah, so wish me luck with that one. And the last thing I wanted to talk to you about was Me Made May. So I want to talk to you about the Instagram challenge Me Made May. Now, I don't think I've done Me Made May before, and I like the idea of it, but the idea of having to find something me-made for every day was overwhelming. I don't think I've got that many me-made clothes, and May is the equivalent to November in the Northern Hemisphere. So while we don't have a particularly cold climate, it's winter here. We're in proper winter now, I would say. In a cold season, I wasn't sure if I would have enough clothes, because I have made a lot more kind of summer clothes than winter ones. However, when I went onto Instagram and had a look at the account of the person whose name I will put there because I can't remember it, who invented Me Made May, and looked at the challenge, it actually isn't as limiting as that. It's basically, it's about, you can decide for yourself how you want to make Me Made May work for you. So I looked at that and I thought, this is what I said. So I've just switched to winter clothes. So I literally have just put all of my summer clothes in the other wardrobe, and winter clothes especially, I don't think I can find something me-made to wear every day. Also, I think it would be overwhelming. I wouldn't remember to photograph myself every day. But I might be able to feature some me-mades maybe 2 or 3 days a week. 3, let's say 3. So, and then I thought, well, what rules shall I make for myself? Because we are allowed to make our own rules. So I've got an outfit consisting of, these are my rules. Each outfit should consist of something like this: a me-made garment, but I can also have, much easier for me, is a me repaired, altered or upcycled garment, and something else me-made. I don't know what I was thinking of there. Oh, maybe I was thinking about like a hat or a scarf or something like that. So yeah, so I've decided that what counts for me is me made, me repaired, me upcycled, me repurposed, and even me thrifted. So if I can take 3 photographs a week of those, that's what I consider to be my Me Made May. I like the idea of the challenge because I think I should speak for myself. I've made a lot of things. I have quite a lot of clothes. I have done some work on trying to focus myself, but I have allowed myself sometimes to get seduced into making things that I'm not sure I'll wear or not. And for example, that Frugal Frocks dress is one of them. So now in Me Made May, I'm going to get that dress out and I'm going to find a way to wear it, and I'm going to wear it and see how it feels. And if I come to the place where I'm just not wearing my dresses, or I didn't really have a good day, or I didn't feel comfortable in any of my dresses, then I'm going to say to myself, you know, much as you like dresses, don't make them because you don't like them. On the other hand, I may be able to push myself out of my trouser comfort zone and start wearing dresses more and feel great and comfortable in them. So let's see. So I think Me Made May is a really good way of pushing yourself in that way. What else? Oh, as we're on the subject of fails this week, let me just show you this one. So, big baggy sweaters have obviously been on my wish list for a while, and I do knit, but I don't really follow patterns or anything. I knit when I watch television and I just want something that just is basically straight. So in my time I have made a lot of scarves, but I made this jumper and I put one sleeve on it, and let me see if I can put it on and show you. So my children laugh at me because it's very common for me to knit things and then unpick them all again, and this is what I think I'm going to do with this. So I love the idea of making a big baggy jumper, but oh my goodness, there's big and baggy and there's downright voluminous. What do you think? I was actually going to put a great big chunky cowl neck on it, but yeah, I think I'll be unpicking that one. So, you know, just in full disclosure, I make a lot of things that don't really work. Here we are, I'm in my t-shirt now. It's getting a bit hot in my jumper. I just noticed something about this. Can you notice something? Now remember, I haven't touched the sleeves at all. All I've done is take the back of the neck in a little bit. But can you see a problem? I've just noticed it. The sleeves are different lengths. So I've got a tape measure, and that one, that's the top of it. So that one is 15, does that say? 15 and a half. And that one, I'll put it on the seam. I think that's more like 17. So my right sleeve is 2 centimetres, about 1.5 centimetres longer than my left sleeve. And honestly, there isn't a, you know, the turn-ups are fine, the hems and all are fine. How weird. I suppose many people, like me, myself included, have walked around in ready-to-wear clothes with faults like that and never worried one bit. And yet when we make our clothes, we're so fussy. We're like, oh, that's so wrong. How could I have done that? Now that I've noticed that, though, it's probably going to mean that actually if I take that one up a little bit, that'll match better, won't it? If I just turn them up one more time. Yeah, it's very strange. That's more like it, isn't it? Anyway, another thing I wanted to talk to you about was in ready to wear. I have been, I actually was sort of repairing some of my trousers, and I really like these trousers. Now, I just got them out of the wash bin, so they're a bit creased. But these are, they have basically like almost like a big waistband, and I've really enjoyed these and worn them, and they are very like the Love Notions ones. I'll put them there. I made a pair of them last year and I really liked them, but the legs were a little bit too snug for me. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of trace off that pattern and change the legs to match these ones. But interesting. Anyway, I've had these for a few years and I have literally sort of worn them on rotation. And what I noticed was, if I can just show you, I don't know if it shows up, but basically, you know, you can see the little bits of lycra sticking out, and the seams were kind of, you could kind of see lycra sort of all along the seams. So I thought, well, since I've got my machine threaded, I think I might just go along and have a look at the seams and see if I could maybe take them in a tad, because they're quite a good size. Wow, blow me down. When I went to look, I found that all of the stitching here, you can see I've replaced it in blue there, all of that stitching, it was all blue, it was all broken. What I've got there has been done in my lightning stitch, but all of the stitching there, because it had been done on a stretch fabric with just a straight seam and then overlocked, so the straight seam was all broken, and that is why it was the seams were looking so odd with the sort of lycra bits sticking out and that sort of thing. So I have been over these seams, and yeah, my machine was threaded up with navy, but I don't mind about that. It still shows a bit, but hopefully it won't be as bad. Can you see? You can still see it a bit, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was, because I would like to try and maybe get another season out of these trousers while I go and make some more. That is a bit of a mixed bag. I hope I kept you with me. Next Friday, I hope to have some Me Made May entries to show you. And yeah, watch this space, and I will be looking to see other people's Me Made Mays. And even if you're not posting on Instagram or whatever, I encourage you to have a think about the challenge. Define it any way you want to define it for yourself. As I say, I couldn't do a Me Made outfit every day. I haven't got that many clothes. But if you just said like twice this week, I'm going to go and dig out something me made that I haven't really worn and wear it and see how I feel in it. I mean, that way we would really be getting more value from our sewing habit. Habit is a bit much, isn't it? That's like a kind of an addiction. No, but I am very passionate about us getting the most from everything that we do and everything we buy and everything we consume and whatever of the world's resources we take up. If at least let's have the most joy, fun and pleasure out of what we do. So yeah, on that note, I'm going to leave you until next week. Happy sewing. Have a great week. Bye.